If you want to see this all put in context, folks, get the film Endgame Blueprint for Global Enslavement on DVD, 2.5 hours long, 40 minutes of extras, their whole master plan, their own statements. We have George Hunt, who ended up in some of these meetings, high-level elite meetings by a twist of fate, and started investigating them, going to some of the sub-meetings over the years. He is with us today. And his website is thebigbank.com, where you can get a documentary film he made along these same lines. Now, got a bunch of clips here, 19 clips. And I want to play Rothschild Sums Up the Conference. I want to play some of the other clips. Rothschild International Communism introduced. I want to go over these, but first off is 17. You want to play 17, David Lang. Now, tell people who David Lang is, George Hunt.
Yes, he's a international banker from Montreal, Canada. Is a close friend of Michael Sweetman, the president of the World Conservation Bank.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Said about us.
Yeah, this is what he had to say about us. Here it is.
This looks like David Lang from Montreal. He's always full of awkward questions.
Until recently on the balance sheet, there were billions of dollars still listed as existing, which have now been written off. And so those surpluses have a bad habit of disappearing when the auditor finally gets his hands into the balance sheet. I suggest, therefore, that this be sold not through a democratic process. That would take too long and devour far too much of the funds to educate the cannon fodder, unfortunately, which populates the earth. We have to take almost an elitist program that we can see beyond our swollen bellies and look to the future in time frames and in results which are not easily understood or which can be, with intellectual honesty, be reduced down to some kind of simplistic definition.
That's an amazing statement, George Hunt.
Yes, it's amazing, all right. It turned my gut, and that's why I'm talking to you today, Alex. It just offended me so much.
We're the cannon fodder that are unfortunately on the earth, and they're talking about billions of dollars they already had in their banking system and how and talking about our property as if it was already theirs and how they were going to get it.
Yes, sir. And they're eliminating population all the time through AIDS, through mercenary armies, through people like the Black Guard people that were, we just found out that they were tied in with the CIA. They're going murdering Iraqis. It's the American people have to do something about it, or and we have to change our leadership. We have to get Cheney. We have to get Cheney up to the bar, to the Justice Bar, and find out why Halliburton hired these Black Guard people that are killing citizens. It's all over. It's all through our society. We can't stop our government either. They just keep on killing.
Well, we do have State Department Memorandum 200, where in 73, secretly to the CIA, it was U.S. government policy to use IMF and World Bank loans to force third world populations to reduce their population by at least 50%.
Yes, that kind of stuff. That goes on. It goes on all the time, I guess.
Amazing. There are so many other clips here to play of 19. Well, what should we play next, George Hunt?
Number 10. I think number 10 would be good.
Okay, Rothschild elaborates. Well, you know what? We're going to go to break in a moment, come back with the next hour, and we'll play it when we come back after the 70-second break. And George Hunt will be with us for 30 minutes in the next hour. This is too important. We're going to continue playing these clips, and then specifically for George Hunt, specifically and only for him, on the subject of the phony environmental eugenics death plot movement, calls to George Hunt. We'll take 4 or 5 calls, 1-800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. And we are simulcasting the radio show in living color at prisonplanet.tv. We'll be right back.
America's #1 source for independent talk radio for over a decade. We are the GCN Radio Network.
This is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you about the Ecola Blue atmospheric water generator that produces pure drinking water right from the humidity in the air. No, this isn't science fiction. It's very real. I know because I use one every day in my own home, and it's available right now to you. Because you know exactly where your water comes from with Ecola Blue, you'll know what's in your cup. Clean, great-tasting water without all the pollutants. Get your family off the grid today by ordering your own Ecola Blue atmospheric water generator for your home or business. Their best seller, the Ecola Blue 28, produces up to 7 gallons of water every day. The Ecola Blue 28 is easy to use and economical. Generate your own pure water from the humidity in the air. This system is free of chemicals and uses a multi-stage filtration system, including reverse osmosis, carbon filters, and ultraviolet lights. Order now and claim your water independence today by calling Ecola Blue at 1-800-691-6043. That's 1-800-691-6043. Or visit Ecola Blue on the web at www.ecoloblu.com today.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Coming up at the bottom of the hour when George Hunt leaves us, I'm going to get into the latest on health care. The flu scam has now been completely exposed by the EU itself as a total fraud, and they admit these vaccines were dangerous and it was wrong. We're also going to get into the latest on Bankstergate with Timmy Geithner and all of his criminal activity and your phone calls. But George Hunt, inside whistleblower, who by a twist of fate wanted to get his son a job in conservation, and literally one of the heads of the global government conference was sick. He called him and he said, thought it was somebody else from the conference calling, and said, yeah, you can go, and just walked right into this. And that's why it's important you go to government and non-governmental events. Weasel your way in, record it. You won't. I went to a Smart Growth conference in 1998 in Austin. They had 4,000 people there, mainly from counties and cities, paid by the cities to be there. And they had the heads of the banks going, we're taking everybody's property. They weren't denying it. It was a joke. They were admitting they were criminals. They didn't even deny it. Okay? And I was just, whoa. That's when I really woke up to the environmentalists. I already thought I knew they were just misguided communists. No. These are bankers. Okay, so this next clip is Rothschild Elaborates. Then we'll go through more of these clips and get George Hunt's take on it. Okay, Rothschild Elaborates. We'll play this.
To overcome the chilling, doom-laden prognostications of Dr. Irving Mintzer's greenhouse effect, perhaps it could be possible to utilize CO2, carbon dioxide, one of its main causes, to manufacture dry ice, to maintain the polar caps and the actual temperature of the ice there, and maintain their present temperature. Innovative and modern technology, world waste material, collected and perhaps burnt in volcanic areas, or buried so deep in the earth, in the wilderness desert areas of the mid-Sahara where nobody goes, or in the empty quarter in Arabia, or the Gobi Desert. But all these ideas and visions, some far-fetched, and above all, the continuation of this Congress needs money.
So they get to take over and ship dry ice. Imagine the money they'd make. Or they will control globally toxic waste being shipped to the Sahara. So they want to control waste management. They want to control private property. And they want to scare the public with far-fetched programs into accepting that the earth must be dying from carbon dioxide because look at all the money we're spending on it. It must be real. Is that an accurate breakdown of what he was really saying there, George Hunt?
Yes. They're creating a demand for dry ice machines, shall we say, through their rhetoric, so that the people will become fearful of Mother Earth crumbling, and they'll give in then to all of these monstrous projects that will cost trillions of dollars, and the elite will be in the front end of these projects, in the maybe as the first investors, and it will grow into a huge monster, and then it'll collapse. And the elite will have pulled themselves out of this project before it collapses. So you're going to see a lot of these ideas coming along that will change the climate. HAARP is one example.
That was another point, and we're going to go to break. Long segment coming up and play clip after clip. But clearly it's now declassified. They have weather weapons. They can create, control hurricanes. That's all declassified. We know the White House science czar, John P. Holdren, who's called for global extermination, drugging the water to sterilize us, in his own book, Eco-Science. We know that they're already manipulating the weather to create calamities to scare people into submission. George Hunt, stay there. I'm going to come back and get your take on that on the other side of this quick break. And then we're going to play clip after clip and get quick comments from you about what Rothschild, Strong, and others are saying. They talk about international communism being introduced. This is incredible info.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power